I came down to Fulham in South London to meet two young volunteers at a Ukrainian aid charity centre. They shared with me how they themselves and their families have been impacted by the war in Ukraine. Hi, thank you for agreeing to the interview. What's your name?
I'm Junior.
Junior, and where are you from?
I'm from London, but my mom's from Ukraine. My dad's from Uganda.
Okay. Whereabouts in Ukraine is your family heritage
Lviv.
from? Lviv.
Yeah.
How long have you? You're born and raised in London, and have you visited Ukraine since the war?
So prior to the war, I used to visit every year,
Mm-hmm.
I think at the time of the war, I was supposed to visit twice,
Mm-hmm.
but at both times, either it was very dangerous to go, or it didn't just make sense at the time.
Have you personally been affected by the war? Any family members?
So at the start of the war, I think I had about 8 family members move into my mom's 1 bedroom flat at the time, including a newborn and a dog. So at first we had to make plenty of sacrifices. I had to give up a lot of school time, a lot of time in general to either translate, get them documents sorted, take them places, show them things, get them adjusted to living in London at the time, as well as sacrificing, space. 9 people in a 1 bedroom is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's been a lot of sacrifices.
Do you have any family and friends that are still currently in Ukraine, and how have they been impacted?
So most of my family and friends are actually in Ukraine. So my family that was here had decided to move back as well. I think it's just the situation is a bit distressing because of obviously airstrikes, and regardless of how far away you live, it could hit you at any point in time. And I think the hardest part is just not being able to travel, for certain people not being able to leave the country, not allowing yourself to essentially feel free. Everything's just surging right now, prices, there's not many things, but my grandma, for example, she lives off the land, so she grows her own potatoes, she has her own livestock, she has a full household. So Ukrainians are able to accommodate for themselves using what's given to them.
Do you do anything in your spare time to help what's going on in Ukraine at the moment?
Yeah, well, I've been active in the Ukrainian community from 2014. So we've been doing a lot of volunteering, fundraising, charity events, even just my physical presence, being there, standing there. There's a meeting in Downing Street every, I think it's Wednesday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. On a Wednesday, maybe 3 people will turn up, 4 people will turn up. On a Saturday, maybe 100, 200 people will turn up. So it's a big difference, when you need to be one of those people when there's 3 people at the same time, when there is that 100, 200. I think it makes a big difference.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Yana. I'm 15 years old. And I am from the west of Ukraine. It's a beautiful city, but small town like Cherkiv. It's actually important that this is the west because there was more calmer, like it's not such a big effect as on the east side. So my point can be different from that people who live in the east.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How long have you been in London since the start of the Russia-Ukraine war?
I'm here in London for a little bit more than a year. I live with my sponsors. I'm really grateful to them because they support us financially. So we live with them for a year. It's even more than we should be. Yeah, but they still give us this opportunity to live. I'm really thankful to them.
Yes, that's very nice. Do you still have family and friends that are still living in the Ukraine?
Yeah, of course, I have a lot of. Actually all of my family, like dad, grandma, granddad, my friends, best friends, all of them. It actually, we have 2 attacks on my city, but it not affected us, it didn't harm anyone. But the houses is a bit destroyed, and my friend, not much friend, but her house was like fully destroyed by them, by rockets, but she's now okay. And the worst thing, I think, the brother of my dad, you know, when man captured by the war.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can't find him, and we don't know, like, if he even alive. So.
Oh, I'm really sorry to hear about this. This is your father's friend, father's
brother, yeah.
Okay.
I then went to Whitehall to speak to a Ukrainian who attended a rally next to Downing Street. He shared to me his experience of living in London since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. How long have you been in the UK for?
I've been living in the UK with my family for almost 3 years now.
Okay, so this was before the start of the war.
Yes, before the war started.
Okay. How has the war impacted you since the start?
Pretty badly, as you can imagine. Like both myself and my wife, we have our families and parents who are still in Ukraine. Luckily, we come from the city of Dnipro. The city itself was not affected as badly by the war, but still they don't really feel safe there, and there were a number of pretty brutal missile attacks on the city of Dnipro, with entire block in apartment building being destroyed, and some other buildings and residential areas in the city impacted by missiles and rockets.
Okay. I'm really sorry to hear about that. Are they still suffering from Russian missile attacks, or has there been more of a retreat from the Russian army, or are they still suffering from this?
I feel like most of Ukrainian territory, and especially cities like the capital city of Kyiv and other cities which are not directly at the front lines, they are still affected by fairly regular missile attacks, and as well as the kamikaze drones that are being sent from Russian territory, from the occupied Crimea, as far as the Kyiv, Dnipro, Vinnytsia, and even Lviv sometimes.
Yes. Okay. And before the war started, you would have been conscripted if you if you didn't arrive in the UK before the war started. You would have been conscripted.
Yes, I could have been called upon to serve in the military.
Okay. And are your family planning to move to the UK or anytime soon? Or
no, I wanted to take this for my mother. I wanted to get her out, but she didn't want to go.
Yes.
There are reasons, and
yes.
she just didn't want to go even temporarily. My sister with her kids, they moved to Germany, and they live in Germany as refugees now, but they plan to return back home as soon as the situation allows.
Okay. Well, I hope all the best for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.